notes. I was feverishly crossing things out like, she said that. I don't need to say that. She said that one too. That's on page 4. Let me take that over. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you so much. Before I start, I just want to take a moment to thank some amazing people who have guided my career. I'm going to try to do this without tears because it's been over 20 years for some and almost the same amount of time for some others. But Dr. Kara Miles Turner was the first professor that I had at Virginia State University who took me up to the dusty archives and had the dust mites eating me up. And then we found out real fast that Vedet's personality was too big for an archive. But thank you so much, Dr. Turner, for instilling in me to just keep going. And I do have to say that none of the Maryland schools, this is a disclaimer, no Maryland schools have my student loan money. It's in Virginia and at Howard. So Howard is close enough, but I do reside in Baltimore County. I have been, as my husband says, a tax-paying member of Maryland since 2004, but I still claim Jersey because, you know. I appreciate you. So let me just move forward because I don't know how much time I have and because I get paid for speaking. I don't want to spend too much time up here, but I also want to, don't worry, guys. But I also want to thank my current board chair. I know, Chanel, you said that your boss is the best, but mine is the best, and we share a birthday, so I gotta say it. And then also I want to acknowledge my previous VP for AAAM. Thank you for hiring me, Marion. I appreciate you. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you, Governor Moore, and First Lady Dawn Moore, and also Dr. Johnson, who, just so that you know, you and my husband are fact. Yes, I know, that's why we're married. And also Chanel for the amazing invitation to speak here today with all of you. Your warm welcome and dedication to preserving African American history and culture in Maryland is bar none. When I moved here in 2004, I called the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. They weren't even, this is when Yahoo was around for you young people who don't know what that is. I kept going on Yahoo every single day looking for an African American history and culture museum because I was living in PG and I was looking for one. I would have had to drive to Annapolis, and while I did not have a problem driving to Annapolis, I just felt that was too far on my little stipend that I was getting from Howard University. And then all of a sudden, I get a pop or a ding or a ping or whatever it was called back then. The Reginald F. Lewis Museum popped up. I called them immediately and said, "Are you guys hiring any interns?" They said no. So I hung up, I called back again. I must have had the wrong person because surely you want free labor and I have no problem doing it for an African American museum. And then they said yes. They said they had money, and then me and Margaret Hutto, everybody, who was my first intern advisor, and I know you don't like the spotlight, but I did it anyway. As we're speaking about the year of civil rights, I just also want to talk about how Maryland, we are on hallowed ground. This is my favorite state in the whole country. And I'm not saying that because Governor Moore is saying that. I'm not saying that because I pay taxes here or anything else. Maryland is very special. You cannot be in Annapolis and not feel what we have accomplished, our trials and tribulations. You just cannot feel it. I don't feel this anywhere else. So thank you for continuing to preserve our history. You can't go to Baltimore and not feel the reverence and the bodies of people who fought for our history and culture and social justice to make sure that the sit-ins that were happening at Morgan State University have allowed us to have freedoms. Do you want to say something? Oh, thank you. We are in a church. And then also, Chanel, how much more time do I have? Okay, because I only have one more page. Also, I would be remiss to say this, and then also I have to go home. But I also want to say, I have to go home with my husband, which is important. I want to say that. And my son, who is here today. His principal said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He needs to go out of school. We will have him speak. We know his mama speaks, so that's fine. He'll be fine. He's 9 years old, but he looks like he's 20. So if any of you guys want to donate to the Robinson Fund, please feel free to do this. We're not a nonprofit, I'm going to tell you. But when I just want to say this because, like I said, I have to go home, and this is important. In keeping with the Civil Rights Act, there was a small one-room school in Severna Park, Maryland, which is this big. And I'm here to tell you it's this big because when my husband had me follow him when we first started driving, I called my mom in Jersey and said, there's no street lights. I'm afraid for my life. He says he's a good man, but if I go missing, I am in some place called Severna Park, Maryland, and mile marker 12 or something that I just passed. But there was a one-room school there that Charles's family donated to Anne Arundel County Public Schools so that Black kids could get an education. That school is called Jones Elementary. Thank you. I did not go there. I'm not in a home, but my husband did. Oh, amazing. That school is still up and running today. It is still thriving. There are so many students that go through there, and they don't really know that that land was donated by an African American man so that people could go. There's a plaque, but we are going to change that during this year of civil rights. And I have come to the end, but I also want to say that, before I conclude, that I am very proud of the work that you're doing, Chanel. I am proud of this whole staff. I am proud of the work that you're doing at the Lewis Museum. I'm proud of what you guys are doing in PG. And I just want to let you know that everybody that Chanel shouted out earlier is a member of the Association of African American Museums. And that I didn't have to harass them. They just really wanted to do it. And I thank you guys for the work that you're doing. It's tireless. People say the nastiest things to us, but you have such a tenacity and buoyancy to do this work. And I'm doing all of this without crying, so please tell my boss. Chanel put in an application. This year, we were fortunate to receive $2.7 million in a cooperative, thank you. In a cooperative agreement with the National Park Service, and Chanel is one of our inaugural awardees. She knows how to write some lines. So the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture received $25,000 to pull off a full year of civil rights. And I am very proud of you. I cannot say it from the bottom of my heart. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you're doing. You have made this museum something that people said it could not be. And as Chanel said, we throw the best conferences on the planet. Please do feel free to join us in Baltimore, August 13th through the 16th. I'll make sure that Chanel sends it out. And this year will also be the year of civil rights for AAAM. We are celebrating civil rights like we've never celebrated civil rights before in our lives. So thank you. And I will now present Chanel and Dr. Johnson with their check. Don't try to catch this one.